Hi, primary students. This is Mrs. Mayer, the STEM teacher from Nassaquag Elementary School, and I'm here to introduce you to the STEM activities for this week, which is for you to make your own tic-tac-toe game. We'll use the engineering design process to guide our thinking, like we always do in our classroom. So we'll be asking, imagining, planning, creating, testing, improving, and sharing your games. The first thing we need to talk about is our criteria and our constraints for this project. The criteria is you need to make the game board. You need 2 different types of game pieces, the X's and the O's, and you need 5 of each different type of game piece. And the constraints, you can only use objects you have or find. We can't buy anything new for this project, boys and girls. Day 1, you're going to start asking and imagining. What do you want your tic-tac-toe game to look like? What materials could you use for the game board? What materials could you use for the pieces? Think really carefully. Look at those pictures. You could use stones that are painted. You could use paper. You could use different colored rocks. Day 2, you're going to start planning and creating. So really start planning. What do you want to use to make the game board? Do you have paper that you could use? Maybe your family has had some boxes delivered and you have some cardboard that you could use. What about the game pieces? They don't have to be X's and O's. They just have to be 2 different things. Maybe you have a lot of Legos and you could use red Legos for one piece and blue Legos for another piece. Or maybe you could find some coins in your house. Maybe you could use quarters and pennies. Or maybe you have a rock collection and you could paint some of the rocks into different things. That's completely up to you. Start thinking about what you're going to use and start collecting those materials. Day 3 is our creation day. Today's the day that we're going to make everything. So draw out your game board. Is it being drawn with markers on cardboard? Are you drawing it on a piece of paper? What about your pieces? Are you painting something? Are you making something out of Play-Doh? Are you using the Legos that you found? Today's the day to put it all together. Day 4 is the day that we test. This is a fun day. You need to ask a family member to play your game with you several times. And as you play your tic-tac-toe game, think about these questions. Is the game board sturdy enough? And is it easy to see the different spaces? Do you have enough pieces? Is it easy to see the difference between the different pieces, the X's and the O's, or the different colors? And is your game fun? Our last day is the day that we make any last improvements and we share. So as you know from the work in our classroom, improvements are the most important part. Think about the questions you asked yourself yesterday. Is there any improvement that you need to make to the game board or any improvement that you can make to the pieces to make it a little bit better? When you have it completely finalized the way that you want it, you can go to the link and you can share a picture of it to our STEM folder, but that is entirely optional. Have fun creating, boys and girls.